Hello, Andrew here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my Premier League predictions for the weekend of 1st of November. So, on to the first game, which is Bournemouth versus Manchester United for the early kickoff. Bournemouth 0-0 with Watford. It wasn't the most funnest game, and both teams are having mixed results at the moment. Watford are in a real dire situation at the minute. But Bournemouth, they're not scoring many goals. Manchester United have picked themselves up in recent weeks. It all started against Liverpool. Um, they won against Norwich last week, and to be honest, I expect them to win again this week. Especially with Martial back in the side, he gives Rashford that little bit extra and takes a lot of pressure off the young lad. And although I hate seeing it, but Man United are looking like they're a little bit back on track. So I'm going to say, do you know what? I'm going to go 3-0 to Manchester United. Arsenal versus Wolves. Arsenal let a 2-goal lead slip against Crystal Palace. Um, and Wolves. What did Wolves play? Oh, yeah. Wolves got a draw against Newcastle. Um, I think it was a late goal as well for them to equalise. Um, Wolves again, with the Europa, they've started to get themselves a little bit back on track in recent weeks. And Arsenal, you never know what Arsenal's going to turn up, especially after Xhaka. The way he treated his fans last week as he came off. I mean, when you're the captain, you can't do that. That's just ridiculous. You're meant to be setting an example, and I can't see him being captain again. I mean, he might play for Arsenal again, but I can't see him being the captain. And I mean, Özil should be back in the side. If you saw Özil against Liverpool, yes, it was against Liverpool. It wasn't like basically it wasn't Liverpool's main squad, but Özil, he set up 3 goals, and the crowd booed when he came off at 65 minutes. I mean, why would you take Özil off? Unless he did have bigger things in mind, and maybe he is going to start him this week. Who knows? But Özil needs to be back in that Arsenal side. Yes, he's had his critics. Yes, he's um, hasn't been at his best, but he's a World Cup winner. And Arsenal need that type of player in their side. What am I going to say for this one? You know what? I'm going to say another draw. I'm going to say 2-2. Um, So, next game, Aston Villa versus Liverpool. Um, Aston Villa lost 3-0 to Man City last week, but they gave them a game at times. They did have their chances up the other end that wasn't taken. Um, and once Man City got one, you always know that we're going to get more. Liverpool will need to do the same thing if we're to beat Aston Villa. If we score one, we need to make sure we get 2 or 3, because Aston Villa are a team that can hurt you. They've got a few good players, and like Tyrone Mings, he made some good clearances, and he's a good defender. Um, I do think Liverpool will win it though. We're going to need to. We're going to keep needing to keep the pressure on Man City. Um, but I'm going to say it's going to be a close game, and I'm going to say 2-1 to Liverpool. Um, Brighton and Norwich. So uh, Brighton came, were ahead, then they were losing, and then they won it right at the end against Everton. Maybe there was a little bit of controversy in the game. I mean, there could have been a penalty for Richarlison, and then there was like a penalty given to Brighton for like a tread on the foot, even though Keane is actually looking at the ball. Um, yeah, a few VAR decisions actually got turned over. They turned over the refereeing decisions last week. It was a little bit of a shock, but still, no referee has gone to the monitor yet. But Norwich, as I say, they lost 3-1 to Manchester United. They've still got quite a few injuries, Norwich, and they're slowly coming back. But I can see this being quite a tough game. In the Championship, I think this, these were the top 2 teams. So the only thing I can think of here is a draw, and I'm gonna say 2-2 draw. Um, Manchester City, Southampton. Well, we all know what happened to Southampton last week. You know, they had a 9-0 drumming, and they were at home as well. Um, and I mean, they faced Man City and Southampton faced each other in the Carabao Cup, which Man City ended up coming out 3-1 victors, and it wasn't. I don't think Man City put even their strongest team out. So this is going to be a tough game for Southampton. If Southampton don't defend well, this could be any scoreline for Man City. I'm going to say a 4 or 5-0. Um, Sorry to say Southampton, but City are just going to walk this one. Yeah, 4 or 5-0 to City. Um, Sheffield United and Burnley. Um, Burnley, got outplayed by Chelsea, and then they scored two really like good late goals. So yeah, you never know. And Sheffield United, they got a 1-1 draw with West Ham, which is a good result away from home. But at Bramall Lane, it's a hard place to go. Liverpool found that out. Arsenal found that out. So this would be a hard game for Burnley, and Sheffield United fans would be up for it. And I'm going to say they're just going to nick it. I'm going to say 2-1 to Sheffield United. West Ham, Newcastle. Well, as I say, they both drew last week. And do you know what? I think that's exactly what's going to happen this week again. I think you're going to see another draw. I can't see many goals being scored in it as well. I'm going to say 1-1. Watford and Chelsea. Watford just look down and out at the moment. They really do. And Chelsea are flying. I think, Lampard has really got that group of players playing well together. I mean, yes, they did lose to Manchester United in the Carabao Cup a couple of days ago, but what you've got to look at is that it took a world-class goal from Rashford from the free kick, and you've got to give him credit for that. But I think Chelsea will come out comfortable winners here, and I'm going to say 3-0 to Chelsea. So on to Sunday's games. Crystal Palace versus Leicester City. Well, as I say, Palace came back from 2-0 down against Arsenal. And as we all know, Leicester won 9-0 against Southampton. I think Leicester are really flying at the moment, and they're a dark horse to challenge Man City and Liverpool. And I think they will win out. They will come out winners again. Palace seem to be better away from home than they are at home. I'm going to say 3-1 to Leicester City. And the final game of the weekend is Everton versus Tottenham. Everton's going to be looking to bounce back from the Brighton defeat. At home, the fans are going to expect. I mean, they got the victory in the Carabao Cup. And Spurs, they had their moments against Liverpool. They really did. When they were 1-0 up, and when Song had that chance, rounded Alisson, and he's hit the bar, that could have been 2-0, could have changed the game completely. But Gazaniga made some outstanding saves to keep it at 1-0 for such a long time. He was man of the match for me. This is a tough one to call, but I'm gonna go with a. Do you know what? I'm gonna go with a 2-2 draw as well on this one. So yeah, that's my predictions for the weekend. I will be back before the Liverpool game tomorrow. Please like, subscribe to my channel, share with others, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.